Hello, gentle viewers. This is F Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. In our last episode, we made a big splash. And I'm not convinced it was the right call, but I'm also not convinced it was the right call. Namely, signing new starting pitcher Mike Barber to a pretty decently long contract in the hopes that he can be the big game pitcher that we've been looking for. Beyond that, Manny Pozo does continue to develop nicely. He's in high A Greensboro this year, but to be honest with you, as long as he's able to put up another quality offensive season, we're likely might see him in Double A by the end of the year. Other than that, we are losing heart of the team Garrett Gunnels for the first few weeks of the season, which means that Chris D'Andrea is actually going to get a chance to start at right field every day, at least until he is healthy. Which is actually a really good thing for us because Gunnels won't be around forever. And we especially don't know how he'll be when he returns from the injury. So that's something we're going to have to consider as we play through the season. Beyond that, we really didn't do much in the offseason. It was kind of a quiet one. And we're really just hoping that our immensely talented team can just keep playing the way that they have been playing, make it back to the playoffs, and hope that Mike Barber does what no Pittsburgh starter has been able to do, which is give us a big performance in the playoffs. If we take a quick look at our team's history here, you can see that from 2028 up until last season, we made the playoffs every year except for one. But we've never made it to the World Series. That's not true. We actually have made it to the World Series. But what I really wanted to look at was the positional starters. And just kind of a nice trip through memory lane, talking about some of the players that once predominated and have since been replaced. There is Jesus Sanchez. I remember him for the 1 year that we had him. Juan Soto was a pretty important name. Gunnels has been there since 2029. Zion Rose, we got some of the best years out of him that season. But you'll notice we have a lot more stability of late. Specifically at catcher, first base, second base, and center field, and right field, we've had the exact same starters for the past 5 seasons, which is obviously a very important thing, and it adds a lot of stability to the franchise. If we look at our pitchers, however, I think you'll see where the really big changes have been happening, which is that we've had a very difficult time with finding quality pitchers who will serve us well throughout the season. We haven't had a closer have 3 seasons in a row. I'm hoping Brunmeyer might be that guy, but we'll see what happens. One of our big starters last season isn't even on the team anymore. We're really hoping for Tsui to make a nice comeback this season. Oh no, wait, we traded him. We did trade him because I wanted to save some money. Let's take a quick moment here and look at people expiring and figure out if there's anyone we want to bring back. Nate Brooks is kind of the obvious choice here, right? He's also the only true free agent that we have. But I doubt anyone... Okay, you will take a nice big contract now. I can't do the opt-out. I can't. Because what's going to happen is you are going to opt out, and then I'm left with no catcher. And if you're wanting like 45 million, I can't compete with that. If I take the opt-out, do you take the contract? Okay. Locking up Avila is probably the most important thing we can do this season. I'm very, very interested in just giving him whatever he wants. So I'm going to do exactly that. We're going to submit this offer to him. Right? Yes, I will. Let's also talk now to Nick Rosario. Okay, I like Rosario's deal a little bit better than... I would have to cut some of his salary out next season, but... Do I try to take the opt-out out? I think I do. I think I'm going to see what happens if I remove the opt-out and see if he takes that. Okay. That's good. That's two of the big three being offered big money contracts. What about Peral? Peral just wants a one-year deal. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I definitely think he needs to prove himself to be a top contributor before he gets that big money. But we've locked up the two biggest pieces of our team, assuming they both take the deals. And we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and proceed with the season. We got Avila. We got him. We no longer have to worry about him leaving the team. This is just perfect for me. It's absolutely perfect. I'm really excited about this deal. And before you say, but Avi, what happens if he gets hurt? I will happily find him a new position. So I'm really excited about that deal. CJ Hurd, you have betrayed me. I would say that for sure if I had actually kept you on the team. But that's as much my fault as it is yours. You are offering me a semi-okay starting pitcher and a semi-interesting first baseman. But the thing is, Tim Kennedy is better than either of you right now. Oh, I have not. There we go. I'm going to reject that offer. Hey, 3 home runs for Zion Rose. That's good for him. I do also need to sign a new pitching coach. How about you, my dude? Okay, Rosario is gonna miss a few weeks. And that's the one thing I really wasn't prepared for. I don't have a solid first base option right now. But we've got to get through it. We could move DeAndre to first. Or Dan Aldridge to first. I mean, I think Aldridge has earned at least a chance for some regular playing time. And that means I can just call up another outfielder. Or even Kurt Gwanke and be in pretty decent shape. Yeah, let's call up TJ McCannon. And Dan Aldridge is going to shift over and play first base while Rosario is hurt. And then Oliver becomes the primary backup at both outfield positions, and McCannon becomes a secondary backup. And McCannon also does this. And I'm just going to copy this over. Now, I do now kind of regret signing a new deal for Rosario, especially if he's going to turn out to be injury prone. But we'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. He might not even accept the offer. And there he goes. That's all right. I'm pretty happy that we've locked up 2 of the big 3. He is already fragile in terms of injury proneness, so this one might bite me in the ass, but I think it's a worthwhile deal. And I think the deal is small enough that if we need to move him, we can. Excellent. Like any long-term contract is automatically a risk, right? There's not really much we can do to stop that. So we're just going to kind of accept whatever happens, happens. Okay. Dan Aldridge got better. TJ McCannon got a bit worse. Rob Wild is putting heat on his fastball. That's a good choice. That's going to really improve your long-term potential. Kurt Kwanke slipped a little bit. Josh Neal still can't hit. Okay. You're going to offer me... Nope. I'm happy with my current outfield, thanks. How does the team look so far? It looks pretty solid, except for Ricky Peral. Peral's constant starting off slow is getting annoying, but on the flip side, I mean, it's pretty early on in the season. Mike Barber worries me more. But I think he's just been unlucky. I think he's been getting hit a little bit harder than we'd like to see. And I really don't like how quickly he's leaving games. Are you just getting your brains hammered? Like, how many pitches are you pitching in a particular game so far? He's only broken 100 pitches one time. So I'm hoping that he'll get better as the season progresses. Andrea is really going to give us a hard decision here in the near future. He's just such a damn competent hitter. I might need to find a position for him somewhere. Soto looks like crap. He is becoming a liability. He's a good fielder at least, but we're still 4th in the league, and the thing we really miss right now is power. As time progresses and players start to get into a groove, I think we'll start making some improvements there. Celtics Browns having a nice little comeback type season, and I like to see that. How is Mr. Pozo? He hasn't actually started his season yet. That's fine. Let's just keep on going to June unless there's a pitching change I can make. Not really. Barber will figure it out. Let's see. Nate Brooks is giving us about 4 innings a start. No. Sorry, he's over 5 innings. He's almost 6. Okay. Vitae's only giving about 4 innings a start. We're just not getting a lot of reliable innings out of our starting rotation because they're getting chased a little bit too quickly. Alvarado seems a bit more durable than his compatriots, as is Mensayo. I'd still like to see a bit more. What does your game log look like? Like, obviously, this start against the Reds is a big problem, but it looks like you'd been giving some decent durability up to that point. I don't know what happened here on April 17th. I wonder if you got hurt, but we'll just kind of accept it for right now. I'll tell you what, though, Ramon Ramirez, you better start heating up here, or you might lose your job to Dan Aldridge. But we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and sim forward. Alright, we get Gunnels back, which is excellent news. We're going to go ahead and send Rusty Oliver down. Why are you not on the 40-man? You should be. Do I not have any spots on the 40-man? Son of a bitch, I don't. Okay. Yeah, Van Zigel, I doubt anyone's going to try to take you from me. And I very much want Gunnels back until he proves he can't handle it anymore. So. Gunnels is clearly going to play in right field. And Chris Andrea is clearly, like... Andrea is tearing the cover off the ball. But so is Aldridge. I think Andrea gets pushed to the bench for right now. But I am going to let him start once a week in right field to keep Gunnels healthy. And he'll also be the primary backup at first base. I just think the one thing I can't lose right now is the power of Aldridge. And so that's why I am reducing Andrea's role rather than reducing Aldridge's, at least until Gunnels comes back. That looks good. Bench coach, do your thing here. And do your thing here. Okay, let us continue onward as you do. I can't figure out if Cincinnati's really good this season or if we're just not as good as we ought to be. It's a fair question, really. And once again, what am I noticing here? All of my pitchers are tired. And I'm getting really tired of this. I don't know what it is that's making you all tired all the time. Except for the fact that my starters generally don't go more than 5 innings a start. You know what we're going to do? I can't keep having this happen. I can't keep burning out my bullpen. I'm removing my pitch count on starters. And I'm going to be a little bit slower on my hook for relief pitchers. I'm also going to reduce worrying about the lefty-righty pitching matchups. I'm going to make that neutral. And I'm hoping that what this will do is it'll keep pitchers in a bit longer, and we won't have situations where half my pitching staff is tired. I will quickly look at the team schedule to see if we just had like a bunch of extra inning games, which we haven't. I'm a bit concerned about Mike Brunmeyer, actually. It looks like he's not having a great start to his season. I think he'll be fine, though. I'm not going to mess with him. And Barber has gotten his shit under control, as I figured he might. Let's go ahead and keep going. And, hey, Gunnels is solving my problem for me. Of what do I do with Chris Andrea, because he's just going to keep starting, I guess. And I will call Oliver back up. I'm really worried about Gunnels, though. I'm really concerned that he's not going to ever reach his full potential because he just keeps getting hurt all of a sudden. That's not a great look, my friends. It's not a great look at all. I mean, I'm glad that we have a built-in replacement for him, but I am at least a little bit sad that it looks like his career is getting closer to its end than its beginning. Because he just can't stay healthy all of a sudden. Okay, we can get Nick Rosario back. That's obviously huge. And I now feel pretty comfortable sending Aldridge back to the minors. And letting Rosario have his job back. I'm also concerned about Rosario's injury history, though. We'll have to see how he does the rest of this season. Okay. Nice, D'Andrea. Nope. Like, I'm not obsessed with Tim Kennedy, but I'm not going to give him away for nothing. Although, if I do keep getting people asking about him, I might trade him myself. We are quickly slipping. And that's not a great look for us. Okay. Vitae's getting a bit better. Okay, Brunmeier just lost a whole bunch of stuff all of a sudden. That's not a great look. Salix Brown's a bit better. Ramon Ramirez is a little bit better. Peral is getting worse. Rusty Oliver is getting better, though. And Gunnels is a bit worse. And Drea is like a tiny sliver worse, but he does what he does. Okay. Yeah, Pozo hasn't had a lot of playing time yet. Until he gets that playing time, I'm not sure what to do with him yet. Salix Brown, this might be the final straw for me. I've got Gabe Leonard here in the minors. That could be at least as good a hitter as you are. And a reasonably good defender, too. How long is Mike Roberts out? He's just out for 4 days. Again, look how yellow this is. Come on, guys. Like, quit leaving the game so quickly. Unbelievable. So. Salix Brown. My problem is not that you're not hitting as well as you used to. You still look like a pretty good value compared to your contract. My problem is that you're not getting on base as much. Oh, actually, it's not your on base percentage is the problem. It's the fact you're just not hitting well enough. I probably need to bump you down in the lineup. But then the question becomes, who is on this team as a capable leadoff guy? And I sure don't know who on this team I would trust to be a leadoff guy. Like, D'Andrea, maybe? Like, as long as he's hitting 350 plus, obviously, that'll play anywhere. Not Ricky Peral. He's good where he is. Definitely not Ramon Ramirez. Like, clearly the ideal leadoff guy would be Gunnels at this point. I think his career has changed enough that I think that's where he would be the most useful. But that doesn't help me right now. So I guess I'm kind of stuck with Brown at the top of the lineup, unless I just swap him and Andrea. Let's try that and see how that goes for right now. That also let Brown's decent power have a bit more impact. I hope. Cool. Okay, we can get Garrett Gunnels back, which is obviously the best news ever. Or is it? So here's my problem. Chris D'Andrea is having an absolutely fantastic season. And Gunnels keeps getting hurt. I think we send down Ramon Ramirez. Like, yeah, I get it. He hits homers real good, but the rest of his game is just not as helpful to us right now as keeping both Gunnels and Andrea in the lineup. Yeah, go to the minors and figure out your shit. And then D'Andrea, I'm going to move you to left because I think you can handle it a little better than Gunnels. And then this is what I was looking for. I was looking for a way to make everything fit, and this makes everything fit. Gunnels plays right and bats leadoff. Andrea bats second. And then we have... no, sorry. Like that. And we have this as our lineup. And I think it's actually really strong. And it lets us... No, you go there. And it lets us take advantage of what Gunnels is the very best at, which is getting on base at a ridiculous clip. I mean, the other option would be to bench Bartlett and let Gunnels go back to third, but Bartlett is clearly not our problem. Bartlett has been fine. And I'm hoping that a return to the minors can maybe jumpstart Ramirez again. I may just trade Ramirez if things don't go better for him. I definitely want Gunnels not playing every day, though. So the question is, it's Rusty Oliver. Oliver is clearly the better outfielder. Oliver, I'd like you to play every 7 days. Just to make sure Gunnels has a decent break so that we at least get some quality performances out of him. Michael Brantley? Oh, Gil Brantley. Okay. But I thought Michael Brantley retired a long time ago. Alright. Okay. Who made the All-Star game for the Pirates? Avila? Nate Brooks, Joe Burton, Eric Corrigan, and Chris D'Andrea. Or D'Andrea? I'm not sure. Rosro's been hurt too much. I get that. Even if he is still having a pretty solid season. Okay, Brunmeyer's not getting any better. I'll wait till the end of the month, but I think Brunmeyer's going to lose his closer job. Good. He's grumpy about my payroll management, but you'll get over it. Alright. So let's start talking about coach resignings. Chris Hannick has done a really good job for us. I don't really feel any desperate need to replace him. So I think we go ahead and we keep Chris Hannick. Colby Bird is really good at what he does. Like, Kieran Madison is decent, but I don't really see any reason to replace either of them unless one of them retires, so we're going to bring him back too. Easy. I would definitely like to offer everybody a minor league extension. Madison will take an extension. Great. I will offer Mr. Johnston an extension. I just really don't want to deal with having to sign new coaches unless people retire at this point. Because I really like the coaching staff we've put together. I think we're in pretty good shape here. And it's just important to have a really deep roster of coaches because you never know when you're going to need to replace one. I like it. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Okay. For Cranston. Oh. Huh? Did Ramon Ramirez... Oh, he got into the home run derby, even though he wasn't in the majors. Good for him, I guess. Oh, who made our prospect roster? What about Manny Pozo? He certainly made it. Manny Pozo seems like the only person who has been, though. Which is not ideal. So I do need some cash, so we can go ahead and try to get ourselves a quality international amateur. I was hoping to bring in a starting pitcher, but a guy like Luis Puentes seems like a great choice. It looks like he's got a really sweet swing, and he'll be a good overall addition to our team. Oh no, my dude, you get the max. God damn it, Ricky. Would you stop, please? Hey, we got Luis Puentes. Good stuff. Colt Stevens is meh. However, Mike Brunmeyer, you cannot be the closer anymore. You're not getting the job done. Eric Corrigan, you're the closer now. You're the closer now. And in an effort to try to stretch out arms a bit more, I'm going to stop the 8th plus. That'll hopefully keep my closer a bit fresher in case that's the problem. Joe Burton, I would like to upgrade you to number 2 setup guy. No. Yeah, actually. I like that. And then Rusty Oliver, you're going to be long relief if we need you. Here, Brunmeyer, you're going to be long relief, middle relief. And that'll hopefully... Because this... I don't know what's happened to you this season, but you've just kind of come unglued. And I really don't want you pitching that badly and in such an important situation for us. I mean, you've already got 6 losses on the season. Maybe Eric Corrigan can be the closer we need. We'll see. And we'll jump on ahead to the draft. Flores, you're suspended. Maybe we can stop you from being a little bitch. But, you know, who knows? Hell no. Nope. No one's getting Chris D'Andrea from me. That's just a fact of life. Alright, I would love to get a quality starting pitcher in the draft. I really feel like we've got some okay pitchers in the upper minors, but I also think we're pretty far away from having a great, really deep rotation. Buckwalter has not been great. Oh, he's been a reliever, hasn't he? I wonder if Buckwalter would take a demotion so we can give Rob Wild a try. We can let Rob improve his talents a bit more. Roy Bell Streeter, actually, I think would be a better choice than Buckwalter. Would he take a demotion, though? He would not. Let's trade Buckwalter. He's already 33. He's already grumpy because I'm not going to make him a permanent starter. I would like to look at prospects, please. What can I get myself? Chris Emery is a borderline starter. I think I am willing to acquire him and see how it goes. Complete trade. And now Roy Bell Streeter gets to take over where Buckwalter did, saving me a tiny bit of money, but more importantly, Streeter looks like he could actually be a genuine starter if he gets some pretty regular reps. With a bit of luck, actually. Mensayo. You just give up too many homers, my guy. I'm going to try to trade you and see if I can't get a different, better starting pitcher. Starting pitchers, please. You're absolutely joking about the idea of having me take Jake Richmond off your hands. You're definitely eating part of that contract if I say yes. Jake Richmond would be a reasonably good fit. I'll tell you what, eat half his contract. Nope. Then it's a big fat no from me. I can do better. I can do a lot better. Alright. So we're going to start focusing on the pitchers who are worth in the 50s. Starting with our old friend Jake Whitlock. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think he's worth it. Ron Baumgarten. He seems like a pretty decent starter. I'm just not that impressed by him. Especially not for $13 million. That seems pretty wasteful. Joe Dietz. Again, his movement is decent, but it's not ideal. Alex DePaz. You're definitely not going to give up many homers. You've got good stuff. And I know your control hasn't been ideal, but you've been getting people out at a fairly good clip regardless. You're the first guy that I actually think I would take so far, is Mr. DePaz here. Willie Hara. I'm not making that mistake again. I'm not going to get another guy with no movement. I could bring back John DeFranco. Meh. Daniel Campbell. Oh, what was DePaz's stamina? It's about the same. You know, Campbell's excellent control make him a little bit of a better choice than DePaz. And it looks like the biggest problem with Campbell is they just haven't just stuck him in the rotation and let him figure it out. Which I would definitely do. So I think Campbell is the new front runner. Yeah, I don't believe in your talent with weak stuff and weak movement. You really need 2 out of 3 to be good or better in order to have a quality career. Yeah, Daniel Campbell, come join me, but I'm also going to try to get a prospect or 2 out of them. Maurizio Puccini, eh? I would be very excited to have you on my team, and I'm pretty sure they're going to tell me to go to hell. Yeah. How about Butch Varner? Ooh, I'd have to give you something pretty amazing, and I'm not going to do that. Not for Butch Varner. He's not that special. I mean, would you throw in a draft? Oh, that's right. We're not doing draft pick trading in this league, are we? I don't want Eric Cook. How about Eric Becker? Yeah, I'll just make this a deal. I know I'm not getting max value, but to be honest, I just can't have more pitchers like Sio in my rotation. Wow, I guess the fans really love Dan Campbell. I did not anticipate that. Good for the fans, I guess. And then welcome to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay. I think that's a decent move. And it reduces some of our risk so we don't have so many pitchers of the exact same type. We now just have Barber, Brooks, and Vitae. And Barber has elite strikeouts, so he can afford to give up the occasional long ball because he'll be a good performer when he doesn't. Nate Brooks, I wouldn't mind bringing you back, but I think you just want too much money, and I can't afford it. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to give you a qualifying offer. And if we have to, we'll try to grab a decent low-level starter in the draft. I mean, yes, in the draft, but actually meant in free agency, but yes, in the draft, too. So give me default, all players, and we're just going to sort by potential for right now, and then we're going to go ahead and hit this. Alright. So, what are we looking at here? A bunch of shortstops for one. Let's talk about Jared Teat. He's got really good stamina. Pretty decent. He's got okay movement and okay control. He wants a shit ton of money as a bonus, and I'm not convinced that he deserves it. I will not be signing Jared Teat. Luis Montour looks like he'll be a pretty decent all-around starting pitcher. But even against poor competition, he didn't exactly dominate. Steve Cressy is an okay hitter, but he's not a very good fielder. I'd probably move him to third. Yeah. Jonathan Jensen is a bit better defensively, but again, he's not a brilliant hitter. Steve Jackson is a bit more polished than the other shortstop candidates that we've looked at. And that counts in his favor, and he's even a decent fielder. But I just don't know how excited I would be to get yet another borderline shortstop prospect. Like, we have plenty of those. If we look at our player development screen here, that's actually not the report I was looking for. It's the organizational strength one. Top prospects, maybe. Well, that's interesting to know. Where is that flipping report? Positional rankings. There we go. We have the second best overall shortstop ranking in the majors. I don't really need more shortstops. I could use more outfielders, but I really just need more starting pitchers. I really think that's the most important thing for us to have. And so, knowing that, I think we just take the best starter we can get. And that looks like it's Montour to me. I mean, I guess it could be Teed. No, he doesn't have the raw talent level that I would expect. Eric Adams is interesting. I don't love his sidearm delivery, but he's at least interesting. There's a bunch of starters that are all right around the same level of talent. And I think Montour is the one that I like the best. So we're going to take Luis Montour. Okay, there's one other decent starting prospect, and he's another one of this ilk. I will hard pass on him. Yeah. I'll take Jody Cox. I don't mind a sidearm reliever. You're really smart, you're cheap, and you're already a pretty polished pitcher. You could have a very quick path to the minors, or to the majors if I needed it. This would potentially play well in the majors. He's a really good defender. Maybe move him to third. He's had average competition, but he is committed to the University of Miami. He wouldn't be bad if... Yeah, I think we're going to take Mr. Bergquist here. Eh... Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. Not with that level of error making. Same with you. I'll take Tommy Jeffers. I like the idea of getting a young catcher and letting him develop a bit. Like, not that Avila's going anywhere, but it's always good to have options. And now I'm going to start looking at some of these pitchers and figuring out if they're actually really good hitters. Actually, Mike Bryant is quite a talented hitter. I like Jeff MacArthur a bit better, though, because he's a bit more well-rounded. Oh, but he also wants $1 million. Pass. Let's take Mike Bryant and hope he just figures out how to play his position. And I like that he's taking Butch DeClerc. He's not a great fielder. He's actually kind of an okay outfielder, but he's got a really good deep bat, and I think he'll play quite well in the big leagues. Any secret power masters? Danny McDonald has quite a bit of power. Yeah, Danny McDonald, I choose you. Nobody wants Jeff MacArthur. I'm going to draft him because I've got the money. Do we have any pitchers with any secret megastars with the stuff? I'd give Aaron Strickland a try. And let's get Mike Lone. And I think that is 11 rounds of 30. It's not like any of these later round picks are going to have a huge impact, I don't think. Let us negotiate with our draftees. Like, are any of these guys going to be big contributors? I don't think so. But our big problem is simply the fact that we just don't have a ton of options. We haven't seen a really deep draft that we can really sink our teeth into for a while yet. Let me quickly flag McDonald and MacArthur because you're both going to be coming hitters. And let us zip on up to the trading deadline. Sure, you can have some money. 300 homers for Gunnels. Yay! Aren't you one of my guys that's going to get converted to a hitter? Oh, no, you already are a hitter. Was Jeffers one of them? Nope. Herniated disc for Greg Fleischman. That's ouch. Who is next man up in the bullpen? It's probably Kevin Patton. Let's get him on the roster. Ramon Ramirez, how are you finding your minor league escapades? You're doing better. I'm thinking I might trade you. I'm going to think about it once the trade deadline gets here. Are you one of my guys? No, you're just a pitcher. You're one of my guys. I do not want you pitching any longer. You are a hitter and will always be a hitter. You're not a good enough pitcher to justify it. Which position could you handle the best? You have okay range in the outfield. Let's put you in right field. And now we get like an average outfield prospect instead of a bad pitching prospect. God damn it, Nick. And yeah, I instantly set you to left field as well. There we go. No, I don't want relievers. Okay. What is our problem here? Our starters, frankly, aren't good enough. Really any of them. Mike Barber, you're worth a lot of money, and you're not pitching like you deserve all that money. Although you are getting better. Nate Brooks is the only consistent contributor in the rotation in his walk year. Like, I'd love to consider trading him, but I can't without totally torpedoing our chances this season. Lineup looks good, though. Garrett Gunnels is turning in a pretty solid season, even if he has been hurt. I appreciate that. Our defense is really, really bad. Really? I don't think our defense is that bad necessarily. Okay, Avila is making quite a few errors. But he's too good not to play, so I'm definitely not benching him. What is happening with you this season, my guy? I mean, you don't have to put up MVP numbers every season, but it seems like you're just not quite as awesome as you've been in the past. You're still an excellent player. I mean, I'm obviously not trading you or anything like that. Interesting. I wonder if part of the problem is that we don't have elite defenders. We mostly have good to okay defenders. Um, TJ McCann doesn't play that often, so his inefficient defense doesn't really hurt us all that much. Yeah, my dudes. I think this is more we don't have a superstar defender more than we have a bunch of bad defenders. Yeah, our zone rating isn't great. Pozo, how is life treating you? And Abel. You're doing okay. But you're also still just 20. I'd kind of like you to stay in high A this season. I think that seems appropriate. See, here's the problem with Soto. I think I need to bump him. And maybe give John Mitchell another chance to play short. Because he's just a better player. I think we're going to do that. I just think Soto's days of starting at shortstop are over. Like, if what killer was defense, it's our Vinny Rodriguez. But Vinny can't hit at all, whereas Mitchell can at least hit a little bit. So we're going to do this. And see if maybe getting a better athlete at shortstop can kickstart the team a bit. We'll see what happens. Bartlett isn't great either. But he's still a good contributor in other ways. So I can't really do anything with him. But we might need to move on from Soto here. Rosser is having a good season. That's good to see. No thanks. Hey, good job, Guofeng. Okay. Is there anybody we can trade to try to make an impact here? I think that player is TJ Soto. I think somebody else would love him to be their second baseman, and he probably would be well suited to that. He's also going to get a big contract, and I don't feel like paying him. So we're going to try to trade TJ Soto. I am looking for prospects and regular infielders. Jake Lubner. You're basically Mitchell. I've already got a guy like you. Nope. Let's look at all players, and let's just see what I can get for trading Soto. I quite like David Reynosa. I don't think he is a major leaguer yet, but he could be. Let's acquire Reynosa. And then I am going to look at his prospects. I'm going to see... Actually, a veteran shortstop would also be alright. Like, I don't mind adding salary if I get a better shortstop at the end of the day. Carson Applegate. Pretty good shortstop. Okay plate discipline. Not really a starter, though. Bryce Rainier. Good shortstop. Good plate discipline. Very expensive. If I traded for Bryce Rainier, I would want them to eat part of the contract. But I do think his elite defense would be a pretty helpful addition to our roster. Could he get you his whole contract? Like, if he'll pay his whole contract, I don't mind giving you, like, a Luis Becerra. And I think this gives us an overall better team having a solid hand at shortstop, even if he's not a great hitter. So yeah, go ahead and fill in at shortstop. And then Mitchell can go back to being the all-world backup. The last player I kind of like to trade is Ramon Ramirez. Because I think he's too good to sit in the minors. But if I had to pick between him and Aldridge, I like Aldridge's approach better. Because Aldridge is a good gap hitter and also has really good plate discipline. Which means even when he's not hitting homers, he's still contributing. Ramon Ramirez is pretty much I hit homer or nothing happens. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you up, and I only want a prospect in your case. And I will not be eating any of this contract. This is just about getting rid of the contract as much as it is adding a talented piece to our team. Okay, I saw a 50 rated starting pitcher prospect. J.R. Cormier. Throws really hard. Good movement. Decent control. Stuff could be even better. And very good stamina. And he's a captain. That's actually a really solid pickup. Like, it's better than getting generic reliever number 57. Yeah, I really like him as a player. Let's trade for him. And let's try to add another prospect. It's not going to be easy. Like, I would love Elijah Dooms. Because what a fucking incredible name. But you're probably going to tell me to go to hell. I mean, you could argue that Dooms is a better prospect right now than Moya is. But I also think Moya hasn't finished developing yet. So I don't think it's worth trading him for Dooms. What about Leo Anaya? Gross. No, thank you. Kevin Whitmire would be a good addition to this deal if they would take it. Tim Olson is a pretty decent hitter. But he's never really going to make it at third, I don't think. I wonder if I can get Philippe Huijgen thrown in. Yeah, I'm giving up something decent at that point. Give me Sean Winter. I'd rather have Winter than Whitmire. Because he's so talented. He's so good at so many things. I think I would keep him as a pitcher, actually. Let's do it. And that does free up a decent bit of salary, too. Because Ramirez is just too limited. He was too limited to be a big part of this team going forward. And I mean, as long as I have Andrea hitting the way he's hitting, like, as long as Andrea is hitting winning batting titles, I don't need Ramirez. Garrett Gunnels is getting worse. I think age has finally caught up with the man. Which is sad, but the thing is, we've done a really tremendous job of developing outfielders to the point where I almost feel like we're oversaturated with quality outfielders, which is great news, right? That's exactly what you want to have. But I mean, a guy like Rusty Oliver is real close to contributing on an everyday basis, and he could be special too. At some point, you will not be pitching anymore, but that day is not here yet. How are you hitting? I don't really care how you're fielding. How are you hitting? You're hitting phenomenally well. All right. How is the bullpen doing now? Eric Corrigan has really stepped in and done well. Rotation is okay. Daniel Campbell is struggling. He's decided to stop striking people out, which is an interesting career choice, and I hope he doesn't do that. But I think he'll be okay in the long run. Mike, you're not part of the starting lineup. You are a super sub. You will always be a super sub. Deal with it. Okay? Would you freaking quit it, Flores? Just quit being a little bitch. How hard is it? I'd love to bring you back, Nate. We can't afford you. Not even remotely. It's not even a question. Oh, the other parts are also... I was about to say, we haven't locked up anything yet. The NL Central is a dogfight this season. Getting Greg Fleischman back is nice. Let's have you rehab in the minors, and then I'll call you up once rosters expand. What we need to do is we need to play the Reds or the Cardinals and just flat out smoke them in a series. I think that's our key to getting back to the playoffs. I didn't realize that Eric Horrigan was a rookie. That's pretty bonkers. Oh, I didn't mean to let you walk. Come on back, friend. Alright, let's get Greg Fleischman back into the majors. I'm giving him some middle relief innings. And then... I want to compare two players. Okay. So Lehnert definitely has a lot more potential than Salix Brown does, which makes a ton of sense, right? I mean, Brown is 32, and you are 25. And right now, I think Leonard is also the better hitter. Brown is definitely the better base runner. Defensively, I don't know how much I trust Leonard, though, at second base. He's got better range, a much worse arm, and much worse error problems, though. I'm going to call up Aldridge, and we're going to make him our primary pinch hitter. And I'm also going to let you decide what to do. Oh, Rusty Oliver should absolutely be my number one pinch hitter. I don't know why that's even an issue. Go ahead and set these up for me, please. All right, let's keep going. I wish Lehnert was just, like, a tiny bit better defensively. And then I think that would be a much easier choice to have to make. Okay. What the fuck is with Jacksonville beating our asses every single time? That we play them. Like, how do they own us that hard? I don't know. I do know Lehnert is gonna make the team next year by simple virtue of the fact that I am not letting him go without, like, getting something in a trade. It's just a fact of life. I'm not going to let him walk for no benefit. Like, Jacksonville's a bad team, but they just seem to have our number this year, which is really awkward. Guys, we really can't be melting down down the stretch here. Oh, we actually did make the postseason. That's cool. So if we win and Cincy loses, we'd be tied, so we'd have one more play-in game to determine who actually wins the division, right? Yeah. And we did our job, we won the game, but so did Cincinnati. So Cincinnati won the division title. That's fine. I can't really do much about that. And hey, look, Chris D'Andrea got a fucking batting title the first season we let him play every day. Like, damn, son. 76 doubles? Are you kidding me? That's gotta be a major league record or close to it, right? Yeah. So that's pretty cool. We have a major league record holder now. Before we go into the playoffs, let's talk about how our team did. So let's look at batting stats. Let's look at WAR. Chris D'Andrea, my God. We really just needed to give him a shot, and boy, did he prove that he earned it. He's just been a fantastic hitter. He's been a really good player, all things considered. And even if he wasn't the best corner outfielder, who cares, right? It's the corner outfield. You don't have to be a brilliant defender. You know, Andres Avila really took a step back this season. And it looks like it's not that far off. I'm wondering if just the rest of the league got better. And let me preface by saying he's still a fucking incredible player, and I love him. And we're getting a borderline robbery by getting him as cheaply as we have. I recognize we are probably going to need to change Avila's position at some stage. If we look at his fielding stats, 11 errors, which isn't great, and 8 pass balls, and he really struggles at throwing out base runners. But if I don't play him at catcher, I have to play him somewhere else, and that's going to bump somebody. Again, it's Mike Piazza without quite the raw power, but he's also a way better hitter than Mike Piazza ever was. I am fine if I get a subpar catching performance, but get an amazing offensive one. Nick Rosario is having a bit of trouble staying healthy, but when he is healthy, the man just hits. I hope his contract works out for us. I'm suspicious that it will, but we can deal with that at another time. Ricky Peral, I think he just is what he is at this point. Although he did turn on the power this season. In a way he hasn't before. Is this just him trying to trick us into paying a bunch of money in the offseason? Probably. But Salix Brown, I don't think we can keep you anymore. I think you've reached the end of your tenure with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I just don't know how I'm going to get rid of you, though. I think we're going to have a really hard time trading you. When Gunnels played this season, he was still the hitter he's always been. Or at least the hitter that he's been the last couple of seasons. I will probably not bring him back. Probably. Unless he is willing to sign for a really good value. Rusty Oliver really contributed, which is good to see. Bryce Rainier is pretty solid. He really helped us out down the stretch run, and let's not forget, we get him for free. Overall, the lineup did what I'd expect it to do, and even if there's another gear for most of these players, the fact remains we still won 91 games. Pitching. Nate Brooks might win a Cy Young Award in his last season in Pittsburgh, which would be just typical for how things have gone for us recently. Because I can't bring him back. Maybe if I trade Salix Brown and we get an infusion of cash, maybe. But that's not going to happen here. Mike Barber, I'm paying you $23 million. I need better than 3 wins above replacement. If we look at his advanced pitching stats, yeah, his FIP was a little better, like which means he's a little bit better. Like his defense let him down a tiny bit, but not by enough, in my opinion. I'm spending a lot of money for you, my dude, and I expect you to be a top quality player. Roman Alvarado, I know he doesn't have the numbers that scream at you or jump off the page, but he may be that extra starter we've been looking for. He gave us almost 6 innings to start. Kept the ball down. This I can work with. Yes, his ERA was a bit high, but other than that, good deal. Daniel Campbell. We were promised a guy who didn't allow too many home runs. He did that. A guy who didn't walk too many. He did that. And a guy who wouldn't strike out very many, and he did that too. I'm fine with what he contributed. Orlando Vitae. He just is what he is at this point. He's going to strike people out. He's not going to walk very many. And he's going to give up home runs. I don't really know what else we can do to get more out of him than we have been. Mike Roberts had a really good season out of the bullpen. We probably need to take Rusty Oliver out of the bullpen. We probably just need to make him. In fact, I'm going to turn off his two-way pitching. I don't think he's a good enough pitcher. And I really want him available for offensive performances when we need them. The problem is we got an incredible pitching performance, and it wasn't out of the guy that's making $20 million. We're not going to get too crazy. Like, I'm not going to rejuggle the rotation yet, because I just frankly don't know if we're even going to make it. But let's talk about some of our prospects, shall we? Manny Pozo turned in a pretty good season, and look at his abilities at shortstop. He's really locking it down. Like this season, it all clicked for him. He figured out how to play shortstop. I need to keep challenging him offensively, though. So we're going to call him up to Double-A. You may well end up in the majors if you can do anything whatsoever to unlock your offensive potential. You could very well hit the majors next season. Because goodness knows Bryce Rayner isn't a fantastic superstar that is going to have a major career with us. Gabe Leonard, just so I don't forget, I'm not letting you walk. You're too important. Rob Wild could get some consideration for a rotation spot, as might Jimmy Arneson, both of whom are... Arneson is probably overdue for a spot in the majors to at least give us a chance to show what he can handle. Like, Arneson is better than Daniel Campbell. At least potentially. Alright, let us go ahead. Can Roman Alvarado get us past the Dodgers? I sure hope so, but anything is possible. Is that my Alex Aguilar, or is that a new Alex Aguilar? Is that the guy that Pittsburgh developed, or... No, that is a new Alex Aguilar. Alright, closing my eyes. Nice work, Pittsburgh. Look at Alvarado coming through in the clutch. That is... You really can't ask for more from a playoff start, can you? Good work, my dude. Yeah, fuck you, Billy Manzo. Let's go to the next playoff round. We face the Phillies again. Really? Man. That's some grade A bullshit. But alright. I actually trust Alvarado more than Vitae. So this is going to be our 5-man rotation. Well, I guess I should look at my playoff roster and make sure something stupid hasn't happened. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Everyone is where they need to be. And then Nate Brooks just shits the bed when we really needed him. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate that. How did you both get chased so fucking quickly? We're not even going to make it to a game 4, are we? Nope. I mean, I've made it known for record that the Phillies are pretty much cheating with this ridiculous pitching staff that they've got. But let's also be realistic here. This wasn't a team that was destined to go deep in the playoffs. Especially if we just keep running into the Phillies, who are just ridiculous. Like, it's unfair. It is legitimately unfair that they have just this ridiculous pitching staff that no one can possibly compete with. Look at this. 80. 68. 80. 62. My best starter is worse than their worst starter. Good for Victor Rivera. I'm glad he's having a good career. I never hated the guy. I just didn't have a spot for him. And Mike Marion's pretty good too, as is Mike Klein. Man, Mike Klein is just a jerk too. You all suck. Fuck all of you. Just because Philly has all the money they could ever want. But yeah, I mean, I can't really be upset with my team. We're never going to compete with the Phillies. Our best hope is that they show vulnerability by their older players getting hurt like ours always do. But I mean, Nate Brooks had a fantastic season and then promptly shit the bed in the playoffs. And if that doesn't sound like classic Pittsburgh Pirates behavior the last 2 seasons, I don't know what does. I really wish I knew how the Phillies lucked into so many amazing starting pitchers, though. It's very annoying. Yes, I don't care, game. I just really don't care. Oh no, not Micah Patch. Please don't stop the play. I could just set it to do not disturb. I realize that. Okay, that is actually relevant. We did lose a coach. It's our high A hitting coach. Oh, really? That's what's going to be the issue with you, isn't it? And you don't want to work for Greensboro. How's about Bobby Spain? Would you like to be promoted to High A Greensboro? You would. Alright then. And then I hire Omir Santos. Sure. No. Actually Santos. No. Jordan Stouffer is a little bit better. Game. Oh, look, the Phillies won again. Don't make room for the Red Sox. That's gross. But I really don't want the Phillies to win again. Excellent. That's cool. Oh my god, stop, game. If you stop the sim one more damn time, I will punch you in the throat. Yeah, Cincy, that's pretty stupid. I would not pay him that much money. But good for you, I guess. Alright, does Padron, would you like to be promoted to low A? No. What about Connor Biefeld? You will be promoted. Okay, great. Jordan Stouffer, you're just going to stay where you are. Could I get Wilson Batamet? No, I'd actually rather have Omir Santos if he'll take it. God damn it, Philly. God damn it. Ooh, the market size got bigger. Gunnels has executed his player option. We've been upgraded to Tiny. Okay, our AAA hitting coach has retired, so we're going to need to fix that. Luke Montz is an incredible hitting coach. I will definitely let him be promoted if he'll take the promotion. which he will. Bobby Spain, I'm going to leave you at high A for now, and we're just going to find a new double A hitting coach. How about Max Moroff? How about you join us in double A Altoona? Alright, arbitration time. Even if I traded Salix Brown, which I'm really thinking of doing, I don't love our chances at keeping Brooks. So Brooks is going to get a qualifying offer. Easy choice. Mike Sheehan, you'll come back for pretty much no money. And I still like what you can do for this team, so I'm going to bring you back. Daniel Campbell, I still believe you have some level of talent, so I'm going to offer you your one-year deal. Orlando, you're going to get a one-year deal. J.R. Myers, it's a pretty minor raise. I'm not going to give you shit. Brunmeyer, you're good enough to at least come back for another season. And then Ricky Peral. You're not getting 18 million, Ricky. You're getting 16, and you're going to like it. That's a pretty ginormous raise, so I'm not... Forgive me if I'm not insistent. Alright. Is there any point in keeping Salix Brown? Other than the fact it's going to be hard to move him. Like, he's really popular. He doesn't get hurt. But this contract is only going to get worse. And he's only going to get worse. And I just don't have a good way to get out. And he's actually declining as we speak. I think giving Gabe Leonard a chance in the majors, even despite his defensive limitations, is going to be better for our team than letting Salix Brown suck up over $10 million. So I'm going to offer him up for a prospect. And my goal is basically, I'll look at all three of them, but my goal is basically either upgrade something important or just get rid of the contract. And I'm hoping we get some really good offers. Jeremy Doucette, tempting. Oh, hell no, I can't eat that contract. That's way too big. If I'm eating a contract that big, they have to be like a top-tier starting pitcher. I quite like Orlando Falcone, actually. He could be a really good starter. Is there anybody here who even compares to Orlando Falcone or Falcon or whatever you want to call him? I don't think so. Let's consider what we're getting. Number one, we're getting rid of Salix Brown's contract. All of it. It is to the Dodgers, but the Dodgers aren't a direct division rival, so I can live with that. We're getting a bona fide starting pitcher who, under our enlightened leadership, might be even better. Like, he's 6'4". He should be putting more speed on his fastball, and I think he probably could. I'd love to get more out of the Dodgers than this, and we're gonna try. But this is just, it's too good, right? It's too good a deal. Even if Leonard isn't the greatest pitcher, the greatest second baseman in human history, I can live with that. Ernesto Nieves, I guarantee you'll never give him to me, will you? No. I tried. Calvin Muldoon is at least interesting. You can absolutely have Orlando Vasquez. I think he's much farther behind than some of those. Actually, what other one I could give you? Jared Gilbert. Vasquez would hurt us less. You can have Vasquez. I wonder if I can get you to add in one more starting pitcher or another interesting player. Nah, this is good. Okay. That opens up $21 million for extensions. We could bring Nate Brooks back now if he would agree to take a lower salary. I would make this offer. I need to think about it. I mean, Brooks is clearly better than almost any other starter I've got. Him and Barber are a good 1-2 punch. You would take this offer. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. We'll talk about Gunnels next at the end of next season. He is willing to take a pay cut, a pretty substantial one. So if he has a season where he gives me at least 120 games this year, I'll definitely consider bringing him back. Because I'd really, really like to see him go into the Hall of Fame as a Pittsburgh Pirate. What are you doing? Oh, you're on the second screen, not the first screen. Friends, he might be there already. But if he can put together another season or two, even at his 2041 level, but he stays healthy, he's going to get past 2,000 hits. And I think that's going to be huge for him. He might be a Hall of Famer right now. I'm not sure about that. But I'd really like to bring him back if we can. And we'll probably get a mission to bring him back anyway. So if Brooks resigns, then we have a pretty talented starting pitcher at market value. I mean, I'm not saying that we're not getting screwed on the salary. But we're getting better. I'm going to increase ticket prices to $40. We need to make more money. Not $4,000, $40, please. I have a feeling that not even the most rabid of Pirates fans would pay $4,000 for tickets. I'm pretty confident that's the case. Because the other really good piece of news is that there's not a whole lot of players right now that look like they're going to cost massive amounts in arbitration. Which is obviously really good news. I mean, Chris D'Andrea is probably quite close. The man just won a batting title, for Christ's sake. I don't really think I can begrudge him that. But with Gunnels leading off, Andrea hitting second, we have two of the best offensive outfielders in the league. We still have Avila, Rosro, and Peral. We're going to be adding Leonard. and seeing what he can accomplish with the major league club. And Pozo's not far, my friends. He is not far from the majors. And the fact that he's made such progress defensively is just... This is a player who clearly wants to be the very best that he can be. And it's not going to take much to see him hit the majors next season. And look, when Gunnels eventually does need to retire, we've got Rusty Oliver, who had a pretty fantastic rookie season despite not playing every day. And if I have him focus full-time on hitting, imagine how much better he could be. We have a really strong player development organization. We just don't have some of the very best in the high minors. I'm going to promote Leonard now just so I don't forget to do it. And because he is going to be my starting second baseman, barring a bit of luck. We'll figure something out for the rest of the team. Alright, my friends, that is going to conclude this episode. I hope you've been enjoying this series. If you have, please remember to like the video, drop a comment down below. Don't forget, if you want to make sure that you're notified of all of my videos, not just these, click the little bell icon next to the subscription button. That really helps. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching. And do let me know in the comments if I made big mistakes with these big contracts I handed out this offseason, this season. With Avila, Rosario, Barber, and now Brooks. And also let me know what you think about bringing Gunnels back if he takes a pay cut. Which it looks like he's willing to. And again, I'll just show you this. He's willing to take, like, a pay cut of, like, $10 million. And even a Gunnels that doesn't play 162 games is still really valuable for us. So I'll be curious to hear what people think. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.